My Weirder School, Book Number 9. Ms. Sue Has No Clue. Written by Dan Gutman. Pictures by Jim Pelot. Chapter 3. Welcome to the Carnival. Over the next month, everybody got ready for the school carnival. The parents and teachers built lots of booths and games. In art class with Ms. Hannah, we made posters. After school, we went to all the stores in town and asked if they would display our artwork in their windows. The town put up a big banner across Main Street. Come to the elementary school carnival on Saturday. Finally, it was the day of the carnival. When I got to school with my parents and my sister Amy, it looked like the whole town was waiting to get into the playground. I saw Ryan, Michael, Neil, Andrea, Emily, and their parents. There were lots of balloons and music was blasting. Booths were being set up. One table was filled with cupcakes, cookies, and brownies that people had baked. There was a little area for pony rides. The street next to the playground had been turned into a car wash. Ms. Sue was running around with the bullhorn, making sure everybody was ready. The giant thermometer was mounted on the stage. Finally, the gate of the playground opened, and we all rushed in. I could smell popcorn popping. There was electricity in the air. I have a bad feeling about this, Alexia said to me as her mother climbed on the stage. Welcome to the elementary school carnival, announced Miss Sue. Before we get started, our principal, Mr. Klutz, would like to say a few words. Mr. Klutz stepped up to the microphone and tapped it with his finger. Thank you all for coming out on this beautiful day, he announced. I'm sure you're going to have a wonderful time. And just to make it extra special, I'll make a deal with you. If we raise $5,000 today, I will. Everybody got quiet and leaned forward to hear what Mr. Klutz was going to say. He's always making deals with us. One time, he said that if we read 1,000,000 pages, he would turn the gym into a video game arcade. Another time, he said that if we did 1,000,000 math problems, he would kiss a pig on the lips. He also married a turkey after we made a really nice Thanksgiving display. That was cool. If you raise $5,000 today, said Mr. Klutz, I will spend a night in jail. What? Principal Klutz was willing to spend a night in jail if we raised $5,000. I would pay to see that. Ms. Sue walked around with a big bucket. Parents were pulling out their wallets and putting money into the bucket. Dad, I asked, do you have $5,000 so we can send Mr. Klutz to jail? I'll contribute $1, my dad told me, handing me a dollar bill to put in the bucket. I walked around the carnival with my family. There was a long line of tables. Behind each one was a parent or teacher doing something to raise money. Ms. Hannah was in charge of face painting. Our lunch lady, Miss Lagrange, was selling chocolates, summer sausages, and flavored popcorn. There was a silent auction where grown-ups could bid on all kinds of stuff. You could buy gift wrapping paper at one table. At another table, they were even selling elementary school underwear. Great news, Miss Sue shouted into her bullhorn. We have raised our first $100. Everybody cheered. Miss Sue put the money into a metal box, and then she drew a line on the giant thermometer. Our Spanish teacher, Miss Holly, had the booth next to the thermometer. She had a big glass jar filled to the top with gumballs. The person who guesses how many gumballs are in the jar will win $30, Miss Holly told us. It costs just $1 to play. My mom gave Miss Holly $1, and I wrote my guess on a piece of paper. 100 million gumballs. I hope I win. At the next table was Mr. Tony, who runs the after-school program. A sign on his table said, "Goading Booth." "How does this work?" my dad asked Mr. Tony. "Well, if you pay $50, I'll take the goat off your front lawn." "There's a goat on my front lawn?" asked my dad. "Not yet," said Mr. Tony, "but there will be later today after I put it there." "You're going to put a goat on my front lawn?" asked my dad. "Not necessarily," Mr. Tony told him. "If you pay $50, I won't put the goat on your front lawn." "I don't want a goat on our lawn," my mom shouted. "They eat everything in sight and poop everywhere." "You'd better pay the $50, Dad," I suggested. My dad didn't look happy, but he pulled out his wallet and handed Mr. Tony $50. "Just so you know," Mr. Tony told him, "we're having a special sale today. For just $40, I'll put a goat on somebody else's front lawn, and you get to choose which lawn I put it on." "That's a pretty good deal, Dad," my sister said. "Can we pay $40 to put a goat on Andrea's front lawn?" I asked. "No," said my mom. "Andrea's mother is my friend. I would never do a thing like that to her." "What's the big deal?" I asked. Andrea's mom could just pay $50, and Mr. Tony wouldn't put the goat on her front lawn either. Isn't that right?" "Exactly," said Mr. Tony. "It's sort of like buying goat insurance." "Where do you keep all the goats?" my dad asked him. "Oh, I don't have any goats," replied Mr. Tony. "If you don't have any goats, how can you put them on anyone's front lawn?" I asked. That never came up," said Mr. Tony. "Most people just pay the money, so I don't need any goats." What a scam! If you ask me, Mr. Tony is full of baloney. Ms. Sue was walking around. "We're up to $200, she shouted into her bullhorn. She put the money in the money box and drew a new line on her giant thermometer. The next booth had the words "Peace and Love" written all over it. Our crossing guard, Mr. Louis, was standing there in a tie-dyed shirt. "Hugs for $1, Mr. Louis shouted. "Kisses for $2. Come by a kiss and a hug." "No, thank you," my mom said as we passed by. Right next to Mr. Louis' booth was another booth with Mr. Docker, our science teacher, standing behind it. He was holding a toad in his hand, and the sign over the booth said, "Kiss a toad, $1. This is an eastern spadefoot toad, Mr. Docker told us. It's a smooth-skinned toad that uses the hard spades on the hind feet to dig burrows in sand or loose dirt." "Very nice," said my dad, "but I'm not paying $1 to kiss it." "No, you don't understand," said Mr. Docker. "You pay $1 so you don't have to kiss it." "So if I pay you $1, I don't have to kiss the toad?" asked my dad. "That's right," said Mr. Docker. "What if I kiss the toad anyway?" my dad asked. "Then you don't have to pay $1. That sounds like a fair deal to me," Dad said, and then he leaned over and kissed the toad. "Ugh, disgusting! My dad just kissed a toad. I thought I was gonna throw up." "How about the rest of the family?" Mr. Docker asked. "Would you like to kiss the toad?" "No, thank you," said my mom. "Yuck, not me," said my sister Amy. "Count me out," I said. "I'm not kissing a toad." "Okay, that will be $3, please," said Mr. Docker. My dad pulled out the money. "Hey, you saved $1, Dad," I told him. At the next booth, there was a big tub of water with some watermelons in it. Our gifted and talented teacher, Ms. Coco, was behind the booth. The sign said, "Bobbing for watermelons." "Isn't that supposed to be bobbing for apples?" my mom asked Ms. Coco. "The supermarket didn't have any apples today," Ms. Coco said, "so I got watermelons instead." "I can't fit a watermelon in my mouth," said my mom. "Then you have to pay $1, said Ms. Coco. My mom handed Ms. Coco $1. Fundraising is weird. Chapter 4. We have a winner. $500, Ms. Sue yelled into her bullhorn as she put more money into the money box. "We have now raised $500. Everybody let out whoop, and a new line was drawn on the giant thermometer. My parents wanted to go bid on some boring stuff at the silent auction. My sister went running off to hang out with her friends. Dad gave me $10 and said I could walk around with my friends. They weren't hard to find. There was a section of cool games for kids to play, so I ran over. Ryan, Michael, Neil, and Alexia were there. So was little Miss I Know Everything and her crybaby friend Emily. "Let's play water balloon toss," Ryan said. Our speech teacher, Miss Laney, was at the water balloon toss. She was poking her face through a hole in a shower curtain with a drawing of a clown on it. "Betcha can't hit me, AJ," Miss Laney yelled. "Betcha I can," I yelled back. "Water balloon tossing is violent," said Andrea. "I don't think it's very nice to throw objects at people. It's not a good message to send to children." Can you possibly be more boring? I said to Andrea as I grabbed a big purple water balloon. This will cost you $1, AJ, Miss Laney said. What? It's a fundraiser, Michael told me. The whole point of the carnival is to make money for the school. I pulled $1 out of my pocket and put it in the bowl on the table. Then I picked up a water balloon and chucked it at Miss Laney. I missed. Ha ha, yelled Miss Laney. Na 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 boo boo. Want to try again, AJ? Yeah, I yelled, grabbing for another water balloon. $1, please, said Miss Laney. I put another dollar in the bowl. Then I picked up a water balloon and threw it even harder at Miss Laney. I missed. Ha ha, you stink, Miss Laney yelled at me. Then she stuck out her tongue and made funny noises. Are you gonna take that, AJ? Neil the nude kid said. I took another dollar out of my pocket and put it in the bowl. This time, I took careful aim, threw the water balloon a little softer, and hit Miss Laney right on the nose. Splat! The water balloon exploded, and she was soaked. In your face, I yelled, and everybody cheered. We have a winner, Miss Laney said as she toweled off. What do I win? Miss Laney reached under the table and came up with a plastic bag filled with water. It took me a few seconds to realize there was something else inside the bag. You win a goldfish, said Miss Laney. Goldfish are cool. I will name him Fishy, I said as I took the plastic bag. Fishy T-Fish. The T stands for the. He will be my new friend.